My name is Natasha Christensen, class of 2007 Periclean Scholars, and Tom asked me to talk about Pericles and what it's meant to me postgraduate. Um, it has informed my professional and academic pursuits postgrad. I decided to study peace operations and to focus my work life on finding ways to look at humanitarian crises and security. And I think that's directly related to the way in which we approached our issue to work in Honduras, and to first work on issues for malnutrition, and then within my cohort to focus on childhood education and programs like that. Pericles introduced us to the concept of looking into the world and seeing what problems were there and how we could find a solution, how we could work on a project to affect change. And that's something that is very real and very consistent and relevant in my personal life and in my volunteer pursuits, and also in my professional life in what I've decided to do. I'm 6 months into a year-long deployment to Afghanistan, and being here and being part of this sort of effort to wrap up our initial engagement in this conflict, and to find a way to then transition to an assistance role where we provide the means for a nation to continue to build itself up, is a huge deal. It seems like all you hear in the news are all the bad things, all the crime and corruption and violence, and all of that's very real and it's very relevant. But I think Pericles made a big impact on showing us that we have to get to the root. We have to look for the things that are at the heart of major issues and crises and work from there. So the concept of, you know, thinking globally and acting locally goes a long way, and it has gone a long way in my career. I've had the opportunity to work in a number of different positions. I had the opportunity to work at the State Department, and now working with the Department of Defense. It's been a very interesting road since Honduras and since first applying for Project Pericles, and all of the effects of the way in which I've reached out into the world have been in direct result of my first initial efforts with my cohort to understand it a little bit more and understand the way in which a idea born in a classroom could become something so significant in my life. And that's because of Pericles, and that's because of what we learned there and what we've been able to take into the world post-grad. I hope that I will continue to be a global steward, and as a result be able to dive into a problem and get to the heart of it and find the root, and then see how we can build up from there. So that's a little piece of Pericles and a little piece of what I've learned from being a part of that and being a fellow and being a scholar of Periclean scholars at Elon, to bring into what I've done postgraduate, and I hope to continue doing so and have the privilege to. So if you haven't looked into Pericles, I absolutely recommend that you do. If you are a scholar, then that is awesome. You are continuing some really, really great work, and it will help you post-grad as you navigate what careers and what experiences you want to pursue. So, as a fellow Periclean, as somebody who carries a little piece of Pericles with me everywhere I go and who is carrying it here in Afghanistan, I'm signing off. Thanks.